Hiya, hiya, hiya. Okay, I don't know if... This is fun. I do this every time, don't I? How do I check comments? I can't see comments. So I don't know if anyone's watching. I can't see anything, as a matter of fact, which is quite funny. Like I said, I do this every single time, don't I? I think I should write a note to myself. Not a note. What's it called? A how-to, isn't it? A how-to. I'm sure there is a way of seeing somewhere on here to see if anyone, well, it'd be nice to know if everyone can hear me, wouldn't it? And just to say hello kind of thing. Is it an iPad issue? I'm asking you guys, which is really funny, because even if you reply to me, I don't know what you're saying. It's so funny. I'm going to go on the assumption things are fine, right? That's the best I can hope for, really. Do you know what would be funny is if it's not fine, to have done the whole tag and it just didn't work, to have to repeat that. No, that wouldn't be funny, actually. That would be quite fun, because making the tags has definitely become an obsession, for sure. And it just gives me another reason to sit down and do this again. But hopefully, next time, I should write down notes as to what buttons I need to press in what order for it to go smoothly, right? But then, okay, I do feel like I'm talking to myself, but that's okay. I'm used to it. I mean, me is used to me. What was I saying? Yes, make a note. I will lose the note. That's what I was about to say. I will definitely lose the note. So we'll wing it. Every time we will wing it. Yeah. How is everyone? Anyway, it was nice, beautiful, sunny morning. Now it's become a nice sort of gray, cloudy, cold afternoon. But the nice thing is, tomorrow the clocks go forward 1 hour, a longer day. That sounds so good. I think in America they went forward a couple of weeks ago. But for us, I think we go forward tomorrow, which is, I can't wait. A longer day. It just feels so much nicer when you have more daylight hours. Then, like middle of winter, we go dark at about 4:30-ish. It starts going down and it just feels like, wow, the whole day is over. Time for bed, except 4 o'clock is a bit early for bed, isn't it? Is it ever too early for bed? No, probably not. I don't know. Let's see. But this is what we're doing. Sorry. And yeah, what I've done is basically try to, I did. Forget. Words and me are definite no. I think pictures is the way to go in the future. Before I start though, let me just say, if anyone posts something weird, like click on this link to watch this live here, there, or the other, please don't do that, because that's definitely not anyone posting from my end. Today I have Karen Wheatland and Deb Moore helping me to block people if they turn up. Last time we were pretty lucky that, no one turned up as such with the trolling and, posting those links that click here. So hopefully that won't happen again today. But if it does, don't click on any links like those, because like I said, they're definitely not from me. And you don't want to get any odd viruses and stuff happening in your laptops and gadgets. I mean, we've got like a full-blown pandemic virus happening all around the world. We don't need it in our computers as well, to be honest. Okay, let's go. So this is the tag I'm working on, basically. And what I did is, the tag is what we're going to do on. And I know last time I had done a couple of extra tags. I haven't done any extra tags today. But what I will do is, for my blog post, I'm going to use the same sort of idea. And this is something, you know, I can't stress enough, that although I might be using certain plates to create my tags, my cards, you don't need to. Rather than focusing on what I am using, you know, look at the layout of the card and use what you have. And honestly, I cannot stress that enough. So what I did is, this is what I'm going to do here, but I turned the tag idea into a card using the same layout. So if we have a look at the two of them, you can see I've got the border happening there. And for here, I've used a different border. I've used one of Linda's wraparound border plate to do the border here. For my flowers, I kept the flowers from my Oopsie plate, which is, the proper name for my Oopsie plate is, now you know why I call it my Oopsie plate. I think it's a 3D flowers and butterflies. It's an A4 square plate. Story behind Oopsie plate is basically, I messaged Barbara to say I needed an Oopsie plate, you know, when I'm not focusing, concentrating, and I go through the parchment and suddenly there's a big oopsie there and I need something to cover that. So hence I call it the Oopsie plate, but that is not the proper name for it. It is the 3D flowers and butterflies plate. So I've kept the flowers from there, sort of consistent with that. The other thing I kept consistent was this panel here and that panel there. But it's just, you know, I used dragonflies on this, and on this one I used butterflies. It's these little things. So have a look and see what plates you have, definitely. And, you know, use that as opposed to, you know, panicking, or not panicking is not the word. I mean, do we panic in Groovi? No, Groovi is so mindful. It's not supposed to make us panic, to be honest. Instead of stressing over, you know, I use this person used that, maybe I should use that. No, use what you have. So on that note, wow, my voice went high-pitched there. That hurt my ears. I don't know if it hurt your ears. So I will block the card itself. It's exactly the same sort of layout, but it's in a card form. It's an A6 card, you know, as opposed to a square card for a change. I do have an obsession with square cards. I do like, you know, the look of square cards. But this one, I mounted it on a A6 because I've got hundreds of these A6 cards. So I thought it would be a good way to use these cards. Okay, going back to the tag. What I have already done, my base of my tags is, and I've mentioned this in, you know, when I put up the event, that I'm using the dies, the tag dies, and I've already pre-cut my tag. So I'm using the largest one. So I've pre-cut it from the designer card. I cannot remember which designer card it was. Let me have a look. I think it is, yeah, it's Indian Summer. Yeah, it's the designer card, because it's a beautiful weight for these tags. So that's what I've used. You can use, well, any cardstock you may have. So I've pre-cut the largest one. And bye-bye Groovi Guard. Bye-bye whatever else. went flying across. At some point, I'm going to have to sort of reach out for that. So you might hear my voice disappearing into the background, me moving furniture because I think it's gone under the drawers. Yeah, welcome to my world. It's always something exciting happening. So other than the tags, I need this plate, which is the corresponding Groovi plate that goes with it. And I've got the A5 plate mate for that. So that's the tag. And this is my oopsie plate, which has tons of flowers and butterflies and welcome to sound effects too. I have got so much on my table and I should really clear up before I start one of these things because yes, as you've heard, things go flying. So yes, as you can see, loads of flowers, loads of butterflies. I cannot see what you can see, so I'm just moving my plate around basically to try and show you as much as I can because I still haven't found the button that says watch video here and the button that says comments here. Okay, let me just quickly reach out for my Groovi guard because I am going to need that. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Right here, that was exhausting, just bending down. Just goes to show how much I haven't moved around through lockdown that I get exhausted just bending down to reach for something. Right, what are we starting with? Like I mentioned, I have already pre-cut my tag from the card. I don't need that at the moment, so I'm going to put it on the side and hope I don't lose it. And to begin with, I am going to start with the tag plate. And I'm going to nest it in the plate mate for that. I need a little bit of parchment paper. I'm using just a clear parchment paper. Some Groovi tabs. If you don't have Groovi tabs, any low-tack tape will do. So I'm going to stick that down. You want to make sure if you're new to Groovi, make sure your groove side up, which is, it's, well, you can hear that. Or the other way is to look for the Groovi symbol right way up. Yeah. So Groovi tabs on either side so it doesn't move about as I am doing something or another. Normally I tend to do this over my light wave, and anyone who's watched the previous Facebook lives, I always say this, I cannot recommend, oopsie daisy, I cannot recommend, a light wave enough. I use it all the time for all my coloring, all my embossing of the outlines. I use it for my grid work. But, oopsie daisy, gosh, there's a lot of oopsie daisies to start with, isn't there? I'm not going to use it at the moment because I don't know how well it comes across on your screens, and I'm just aware of that. So for that reason, and it's actually, I should find out at the end whether having the light wave on while this is recording, if you can see clearly enough or not, because that would definitely help. Oh, there's an airplane going. No, it's a helicopter. My daughter couldn't say helicopter, and she used to call it an epicopter, which was so hilarious. It was the cutest thing ever. Okay, I got distracted there, didn't I? But it was an epicopter. Anyway, so yes, I'm not going to use the light wave on screen, but I use it all the time. And definitely, let me know in your comments if you've watched how you feel about me using it online, whether because I don't know. I guess you don't know either until I turn it on and show you the difference, really, right? So this is without the light wave on. Yeah, that's what you can see. And this is going to be with the light wave on. And you can see the outline and everything is just so much clearer, so much easier to see, to emboss our line art. So I've given you sort of a reference point, so to speak. And, you know, if the light is sort of annoying or something, or not specifically annoying, sorry, that was the wrong word. If it's better on screen to view without it or with it, please just drop me a note. And I wouldn't do it for today, only because, you know, I'm not being able to read the comments as I'm doing this, but at least I know for next time whether to use it or not. That's all. And yes, for next time I must really figure out how to use comments on here, read the comments at the same time. So what I've done, I keep jumping from one thing to another, don't I? Parchment on the plate, groove side up, tumble dryer sheet, dry tumble dryer sheet, not a wet tumble dryer sheet. Give it a rub onto your parchment because that will help our tool glide better on it. I am going to do just one outline. You've got options. You can do, you know, 2 outlines if you want. The tag itself, the die cut tag, is this one out here. It's the last one. Yes, there you go. Yeah, it's the last one there. So you've got options. You can do both the inside ones, or you can do just one. I'm going to stick to just the smallest one there. And I'm using the Groovi Groovi 1mm tool. You can, if you don't have the Groovi ones, you can use the Pergamano one. No. Said that completely the wrong way around, didn't I? I am using the Pergamano one, and it's the 1mm. If you don't have the Pergamano one, use the Groovi number 1. So the side I'm doing this emboss outline on is the back of my work, and I'm using the Groovi guard to hold my parchment down for me as I'm pulling. And there was a blip where I hadn't put my Groovi guard quite down, and I don't know if you can see it, but just over here where the parchment moved a little bit, you know, it's sort of made a not double, it's gone slightly off. I'm not going to worry about it, but it was just to mention to you guys that, you know, again, Groovi guard is something that is really useful to have in your stash. I am going to go with, should I go with the larger or the smaller? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's go with the smallest one, the smallest one is the size that the hole on your die, tag die, yeah. So I'll just stick to that. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do on this bit. What I'm going to next do is remove that. Now, one of the things that came up in the last Facebook Live was, you know, how do you attach your work if you don't have brads? So today, what I want to do is I'm going to show you one of the ways of attaching the brad. And if I bring the thing back, what I'm doing now is I'm creating this panel piece for the background there, this panel here. And it's up to you where you put it. So, you know, you can put it in the middle if you want it. You can put it anywhere. The other thing you want to do is you need to decide how wide you want these. Do you want 2? Do you want 1? Do you want, this wide? Do you want it just this wide? It's up to you. It really doesn't matter. It is personal preference. So where shall I put it? Let's move it a bit along. I don't know what size flowers I'm going to use. If I'm going to use a large flower, I need quite a bit of space there. So I'm going to leave a wider space this time. And what I've done is I've lined up this edge and this edge on one of the edges of the plate here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to emboss this outline there, this outline there. I could do this one at the same time, but I'm not going to, because I'm going to move it and I'm going to leave a wider space to put my strip there. And also, if by moving it I can get both outlines embossed at the same time, rather than doing a bit, then moving it, doing a bit again. So, and is that going to be wide enough? Yeah, it will be wide enough. It will all be fine. So there we go. Yeah, so I've got that there. What I then did is I embossed one of the borders. I've used the thinner one on this one. You decide which one, or use any border plates you may have, any plates you have with borders. It's absolutely up to you. It really is not going to matter. And I want to emboss a border going across, leaving out this space here, just to add. So now you need to actually have a look on the front. Do you want your tag going this way? Do you want your tag going this way? Do you want your border at the top? Do you want your border at the bottom? Now this tag, I like it this way around, where my border is going sort of at the bottom because my butterflies are going at the top. Not that it matters if it was this way around. It looks just as pretty. So it is not going to really matter which way. But if you do have a preference, you know, have a look on the front and see how you want to position it. And the other way you can, you know, have a look is you can move it before you start embossing to see where you want it. Do you want it down there? Do you want it up there? It's absolutely up to you. So this tag I had going, no, I prefer this one this way. So this one I have going towards my left. The opening is it an opening? The tag hole, sorry, the tag hole going is on the left. This one I'm going to have my tag hole to the right, and I might have it at the top this time. And I'm going to use the bigger one because I can. It's nice to have options. I might bring it a bit lower. I'm going to, oh, no, don't do what I just did. I forgot to turn it around to the back, didn't I? So we don't want to do that. Well, we could. It's not going to be the end of the world. But I definitely want my embossing on the back. So I'm just going to put it on the back. So yes, if you do turn your parchment round to have a look at it, you know, remember to turn it back to the front. I'm going to rub it with a tumble dryer sheet again, and I'm going to put my glasses on because I cannot see. Bring that down, and I'm going to start embossing that. So again, I am sticking to the 1 mm pergamano. I'm not doing any embossing inside of these elements. I'm going to leave them and just enjoy the moment with just coloring really and putting a design down. If I wanted to emboss any part of this design, then, you know, I would use the pergamano 1.5 mm or use the Groovi number 2. What that will do is it will give you softer outlines, which will make it so much easier to emboss inside any of the elements. So I'm going to leave that with you guys to decide whether you want to emboss inside. Again, you know, it will very much depend on the designs you may be using for your this border panel kind of thing. Is it called a border panel? I don't know. I'm going to call it a border panel anyway. So here I've just stopped there. I don't want to cross into this area because what that will do is it will make it look like this border is going behind this panel here. So do not cross into any of your previous embossed outlines. If you want it to go if you want it to look like it's going behind something. So there we go. And I'm going to shift it along and I'm going to jump across to this side and repeat that. I know I didn't write end time. I only said we would start at about 2 because it's basically, and you know, I won't be putting end times. In my case, I'm really, 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 really rubbish with saying I will finish something in an hour because that just never happens. And it was the last month's Facebook Live that I realized that I learned, oh boy, can I waffle. It went on for over 2 hours. I could not believe it. When I ended it and I looked at the time, I was quite shocked actually. Who'd have thought that as a child, I was quite, what's the word? Quiet, the word for quiet, introvert. You know, I used to be that student who would sit right at the back of the class, and when the teacher asked a question, I would be like hiding my face because I was just so embarrassed and shy to say anything. More often than not worried about I would say something wrong, or how would my voice come across, or people will laugh at me, my accent might come out funny. All these things, you know, we carry around with us, insecurities that we carry with us. Aren't they weird? And now I realized after last time, it's hard to keep me quiet, isn't it? Mind you, at least with the videos, you have the option of forwarding a lot of it and just watching the demo parts, sort of next step forward kind of thing, which is good. See, I love technology when it works to how you want it to work. So almost there. Yeah, I was wondering, should I be doing some of these sort of in step out kind of thing? In steps. So here is one that I did earlier, this part, and jump on to the next, because that would definitely cut down on the time on here and the waffling really. But then I also, you know, another part of me feels it's nice to see something happening in real time. And if it's in real time, there is always the option to kind of fast forward. But if I didn't do it in real time and had it prepared, well, it is prepared, and that's that really, right? So I don't know. Waffling again, aren't I? So this is the border. I'm ready to take that off. Have I missed something? No. Like I missed something. So far, that is the back of my work. Don't go flying. Hold on. Oh, best to move it out of the way completely. And that is the front. Yeah? Good. Now I need my oopsie plate. I don't need the tag plate anymore because I'm pretty sure that is all I did on there. I'm going to bring my oopsie plate. So there's that one here. And I know I had decided I want this border towards the top. I want to put a butterfly or 2 or maybe 5, but we'll stick to 1. Yes, that might be a good idea to stick to 1. I might do this large one here. Or should I do this one here? This one, this one. Oh, options, options. I don't know. Which one should I do? Why is life so hard? Why is decision making so hard? Do I want 3? Do I want... See, this is why I prepare in advance, so I'm not spending so long trying to decide what I want to do. Except I do end up thinking about, well, do I want to do this or do I want to do that? I'm going to put just 1. Okay, I am not going to fiddle. I'm going to put just 1 and, oh, look, I forgot to turn it around again. And I'm going to put it there, and I know my 3D flower is going to go there. So I'm going to put this butterfly, emboss this butterfly going towards my flower. This is a A4 square plate. There is a plate made for the A4 square plates as well. I'm not using it at the moment because I have my computer right in front of me and the plate mate doesn't let me move my work around. So I'm kind of sticking to just the plate. But the plate mate is really good because this paper that is sort of sticking out on the sides here and the plate ends here, you know, those are places where you need to be careful. You don't press too hard on because that's going to crease your parchment. It's going to leave a mark on your parchment. So the plate mate sort of keeps the parchment flat on it and, you know, stops that risk of marking the parchment. But like I said, for me, it's just because it gets sort of in the way of my computer. I'm not going to emboss the whole butterfly. I'm going to do the body. Oopsie daisy, that wasn't the body, that was the wing, but the butterfly definitely does need wings, thankfully. I'm sure it's glad to know as well it needs wings. And the wings, I'm going to do that there, that there, that there. Oopsie daisy. Am I even on screen? I don't know. And I'm going to do the larger wings. Should I do these? Yeah, let's do these. Why not? What else shall I do? I want to leave some areas that I want to perforate out because I want to show you perforating on the inside. So I'm just trying to decide what I want to leave in and what I want to leave out. I'll do this and this, and I'll do the diddly-doos in there because I think they're pretty cute. So I'm going to do those. You don't have to. And I'm going to do this and the diddly-doos on that side. Missed that one. So there we go. This one, I think that would be a pretty massive hole, won't it? Do I want such a massive hole? No, I don't. So I'm going to do that circle and I'm going to do this because on this one, I think what I'll do is I will perforate this here. And on the top wing, I will perforate this section. Just in case you didn't guess, I'm making it up as I go along. Yeah. So there we go. And have I got everything? Definitely. Have I got everything? Yeah. And no, don't take it off that way. I was about to rip it. So on the front so far, this is what we have. Yes. Okay, I'm going to leave that piece on the side, still using this plate. I want 3 flowers. Well, I don't necessarily need 3 flowers. I can have just 2 flowers, 1 flower. It really is not going to matter. The choice is absolutely yours, what you may want to do. I went with, on the tag itself, can you tell I like pink? On the tag itself, I have gone with 3 of the same flower in 3 sizes. You'll find all the flowers are in 3 sizes. So I've gone with the same one there. But on the card, which I have lost, nope, found it. On the card, I have used this flower here. No, not this flower here. I've used 3 different flowers. And, you know, that's the nice thing about this plate is that you can do that. You can mix and match your flowers and play with it. Another thing, you know, I am going to do the flowers like with Pico cutting and things. But I don't know if you have seen, these flowers do come as dies as well. So let me just quickly run through. They're bigger than what's on the plate. So that's really nice when it's bigger, because now you can, is it not concertina, is a ziggy-zaggy, right? You can layer them in different sizes. So, and they come with the corresponding Groovi plates as well. So you've got all the flowers in different sizes. So, well, not in different sizes. You've got the same flowers, bigger, but already to run through your die machines to get your picos, which is really lovely. So there is that option as well for those who don't want to do the Pico cutting. You don't have to. You can just cut around them if you wish. You know, nothing is absolutely, this is how you need to do it, because that doesn't work for me, to be honest. Okay, so 3 flowers. I'm thinking I might just do 2 on this one. And do I want a large one or do I want a small one? I can take my parchment and, you know, position it on there. I know I want my flower just above here. So, you know, by positioning it on there, I can decide, like, you know, what flower do I want. See, this one might be too big. No, it might be okay. Might be okay. It might go out a bit, but it's a tag. Does it matter? So play with it and see. I'm not going to play because I know, well, playing takes up too much time in my case. And I am going to go with, let's do this one. I like this roundy one. So I'm going to emboss that one. And I'm just going to do 2. On the tag and on the tag and on the card, I have used 3 layers. So I'm still using just the 1 mm because I'm not going to emboss in this. Yes, I'm going to leave those diddly-doos in there because, you know, I'm just going to color it in. You can put them in if you wish. It's up to you. Actually, no, I will. No, I won't, because I'm going to have another flower on top of this. So a lot of those diddly-doos are going to disappear anyway. So I'm not going to. And then which flower shall I choose? So I'm going to take this flower and decide which one, you know, sits comfortably on there. And I quite like this one here. So I'm going to emboss that on a section of the parchment piece, tumble dryer sheet, Groovi guard. And again, making, because I mean this piece doesn't matter because it's excess, so if I mark it, it's not going to matter. But I would have to be careful if I was working on a larger piece. I don't crease my parchment at the edge there. There we go. Does this class have speed embossing? Okay. 2 flowers, that's all I'm going to do because I think 2 is fine. And I have pre-done mine anyway, so it doesn't matter. I haven't done these, well, I've done this flower, but I haven't done this flower, but I have got some that are ready. Depending on how long I take doing this, I may jump that 1 Pico cutting stage, really. Okay, I don't need that plate anymore. Next find my tag. Next, find my tag. So here we go. Here's the tag. Let's do some coloring. Yeah, I'm using the felt pens, the Perga Colors exclusive pens, 30 beautiful colors. Yeah, and I know that my backing card I have chosen is this one. So I'm going to go with the colors that sort of appear on there, which is orange. This, what color is that? What color? What? I don't know what color that. Like, I don't know what it's called. That color, teal? Is it teal? I don't know. So anyway, I'm going to go with these colors on this one. So have a look at your, choose your backing cards first, because they will really help with deciding on which colors to use. Now, I am actually for this bit going to use my light wave because I so much prefer coloring with my light wave on. I can go right up to the edge of the outlines. I have put the embossing mat on a pile of boxes that sort of go wide to thin, 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 and the one at the top is like fairly thin. If you hear a crash, you'll know what's happened. So don't panic. It's okay. Not the best place to put that, but that's okay. Okay, now I need to decide what I want to color where. Orange. Let's go with orange. I prefer these are really cool pens. They have got a thick end and they have a thin end. I'm really used to using the thin end, so that's what I'm going to stick to. You may prefer using the thick end. I'm not going to worry too much about my coloring skills here, because I know on the front my coloring will be fine, and I am coloring on the back. I should have said that to begin with. Should I do a few orange and a few, yeah, let's mix and match. So you can see coloring skills, zilch. As long as I don't go outside, I'm all cool on the inside. I wish I was cool like on the inside of me inside, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Does that not make sense? That's, you know what, I'm going to rescue my embossing mat because it's going to be a bit of an oopsie daisy. So this is the front, and you can see on the front it is absolutely fine, but on the back, yes, that looks a bit scribbly and everything, but that's okay. I just wanted to show you what it looks like on the front. Everything is good. Okay, to continue, let's do this one. Do you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put my pergoliner pencils out. Oh no. About 10 minutes before going live, I was actually busy chatting on Messenger. And bless, my daughter said, Mom, this was about 20 minutes before I was going live. She said, Mom, don't you need to go set up? And I'm like, nah, everything's fine. Obviously, she knows her mother really well. So once again, you'll hear probably a lot of commotion as I'm trying to dig out the pergoliners. Not dig out. Dig out's not the right word, but I need to move stuff around. Because like I said, I've got so much stuff on my desk that... do I want more orange? I feel I've gone very ziggy-zaggy and I don't want a ziggy-zaggy. So I need to break that ziggy-zaggy a bit. I don't like the ziggy-zaggy. I like the word though. And I am going to do this one orange as well, just to... You guys can take more time with your coloring. Yes? Don't do what I'm doing, because this is like really bad. I should be doing it a bit more sort of slower, calmer kind of thing, instead of scribbling. And I'm going to do this color because I love this color. It's sort of become my new favorite color. Recently, I seem to be using it on pretty much everything. I mean, other than pink. Pink is just something that goes on, well, it should go on everything for everyone. Pink and glitter and sequins. Must-haves in life. Well, no, not must-have. I mean, there are, I guess, more important things in life, right? But these are my happy things. So because they're my happy things, they're a must-have. Anything that is your happy thing is a must-have. Righty-ho. And then I am going to do the leaves. And the stems. For a second there, I had that nightmare thought in my head that I was on the front, but it's okay. It's not. Suddenly I thought, oh my gosh, I forgot to turn it around. I mean, even if I had done it on the front, do you know what? I have an oopsie plate I'm using today. I would have just put flowers all the way along there. Who's going to know what's underneath it? No one. Everything is good. I was looking around, going back to, if you make a mistake, don't throw your pieces out. No, we didn't start with don't throw your pieces out. It was just, if I made a mistake, what would I do? But previously, what I've done is when I make a mistake, yes, in the beginning when I was learning, definitely, I would just throw the whole piece out and start again. And that is a lot of hours of work, So then what I started doing is I started cutting out the bits that were left, the bits that I was happy with, just not even Pico cut or anything. I would either tear them or use paper punches, punch out the sections I was happy with. And I would stick those in a little journal, sort of just a little notebook. And it ended up being a really nice journal that, well, it worked basically. So I tried to look for that today to show you guys that, this is an option. Could I find it? Of course not. It's probably still in the garage from when I moved in with Mom 3 years ago. I really must unpack more of my stuff, shouldn't I? And I couldn't find it, but just to show you guys, if something goes wrong and you're really unhappy, there'll be stuff on that piece that you started that you will be happy with. So don't instantly throw it away. Look at what you can, salvage and keep it. Cut it out. Tear around it. Use paper punches and punch out the section you like and stick that in a little notebook, and you'll see this notebook filling up. So just an idea. You don't have to, but I think it would be really nice to have something like that. And I must actually start another one, not because I don't have enough to do, but because I really liked how it had turned out. So I just think that it would be really nice to... I'm going to Pico cut in those sections there. So this part of the butterfly, I want to color. I'm wondering which color. Should I go with the orange, or should I go with the green or blue, or oh, I need somebody sitting right next to me making decisions for me, because that would be really awesome. No, do you know what? I'm going to go completely different, and I'm going to go with green. This is my favorite green. I just love using it. It's just really bright and cheerful, isn't it? There we go. What shall I do with those little circles? Orange might as well. There we go. Okay. One more thing is the border here and here. So I'm going to go with the brown for my border. So I'm just going to use, because it's just straight, I'm just going to use the ruler, and I can't see. I'm sort of at a very odd angle. If I'm going off the page, sorry, off the screen, sorry, but I need to be able to see. Oopsie, I missed. I'm missing completely. I need to come a little bit higher to fill that space. That will do. That will do. And this, I should have just colored it in, because my phone is quite low actually to where I'm trying to, where it's I'm doing the live using my phone camera, so it's quite low, which means I can't put my head over my work, which is a good thing in your guys' case, because I'm sure you don't want to see my scalp. My scalp, you wouldn't see the scalp if there is hair, would you? I don't know. Or my hair for that matter, doesn't matter. A little bit here that just needs touching up. There we go. Okay, that's all good. So that's on that piece. On your flowers, I'm only going to color one of them, and I think I'm going to color this one here. Now, depending on what color you want for your flower, I'm going to go with this one. I'm just going to color it while I'm at it, while I've got the pens out. I'm going to put another layer because it's quite a light color. And most of this is going to be covered with the other flower that's going to go on the top. So I wouldn't stress over how rubbish this looks. Well, no, you don't need to stress about how rubbish mine looks, but yeah, don't stress too much, you know, because a lot of it is going to be covered. If you had used a smaller flower for the section that goes on the top, then definitely do take a bit more care with your coloring, because obviously a lot more of this flower will show. So I'm going over it again because I want it slightly darker, and there we go. And trust me, as much as that may look a bit messy on your screens, I don't know whether it does, but on the front, everything will be good. So let me bring that in here on the front. So that's the front of that, and that's the front of that. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we're good. The other option is, and this is one I did before, is, so for example, on this one, I have colored it. Now with these 3D flowers and butterfly plates, there is enough space in them if you wanted to do other things, if you didn't want to color. I mean, they already come with the diddly-do designs in them, which, as you can see, we didn't use them for on here. But if you wanted to fill in the petals, you can use those diddly-doos in there. But if you don't, leave them out as we did, and you may decide you want to emboss in there, do a bit of grid work. So you can see on these ones here, I have done a bit of grid work on, and I'm going to hold it there actually, there. I don't know. It's sort of, my head tells me it's in the right place, but obviously because I can't see on what you see on your screens, it's hard to know. But I'll just, hopefully, I'm hoping it's fine. But on these, so I have done grid work. This one's here, the grid work on this one here and the grid work on this one here has been done using the fine grid. And it's just embossing every dot using the fine diagonal grid, which comes as an A4 plate. It is really pretty. This one is the diagonal bold grid, and you can see the sides of the holes. I don't know if I go closer, if you would be able to see. I'll just move it around and hope that it will pick up something. You can see, if I had used the bold grid, for example, in these petals, I think I would have just got one row in, and you know, which is absolutely fine, no issues. But I wanted to fill it up really as a full sort of fully, completely. That did not make sense, but it's okay, all's good. So yeah, you have options basically. The other option you have is, because they are large spaces, you can Pico cut on the inside as well as on the outside to give you just like the skeleton of the flower, which looks really pretty as well, especially for your last layer at the top. It's really nice to maybe just, you know, cut inside the petal as well as the outside, because what that would do is that will have a window here that will show what's on the underneath layer, which looks really pretty. Okay, so you've got options there. But for this one, I'm just basically coloring. Well, yes, I am. I have finished coloring using my felt pens. Let me just quickly dig out, chat amongst yourselves, my pergoliners. Oh my gosh, that is a bad place to put a stack of mats. I'm too scared to breathe in that direction because I know what's going to happen. It's about to topple over. No, let me rescue that. Yeah, just chat amongst yourselves. Ignore me. Just pretend I'm not here. Even though I'm talking, just pretend I'm not here. And I need pergoliner pencils. Pergoliner B pencils are your blendable pencils, and that's what we're going to use with some Dorso oil, blending pen, and you need a blending nib. I'm not going to mix too many colors. I'm going to just stick to one color because I just want sort of a darker around the tag. And what I mean by that is, if I bring you the pink one and show you, I don't know if you can pick it up, but can you see it's darker along the edge of the tag? And I think that looks really nice. It makes, I don't know, it makes it stand out more. Is that the word? I don't know. I like it, basically. You don't have to. I like doing that. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get a blending nib. I tend to keep my blending nib sort of one per color. Okay, one per color, she says, although she has a few with... I like the nibs. Don't judge me, I guess. I'm judging myself. Every time I look at that, I am judging myself. Like, really, do you need that many nibs? And I'm like, yeah, I do. I do. You can never have too many. You know, when I see them in a pot, it's actually, that's another happy thing that I quite like. So I'm going to put a drop of dorso oil on my sponge. Now, is this the one that's almost finished? Hold on. So basically, I've got my dorso oil. Yes, and I'm going to put it on a sponge. And I'm not sure if this is finished. Really? I used this much dorso oil? Yeah, this is finished. Definitely no oil in there. Where am I supposed to dig for another one now? I have no idea where my other one is. Once again, talk amongst yourselves. And next time I will definitely listen to Megan when she says, Mom, do you need to go set up? Interesting issue I have here. I had the other bottle just here the other day. Is this it? I found it, I found it. I found it. We're good. We're good. Okay. So just a drop I need. I don't need a lot. There you go. That's all. Can you see it? It's just a teeny tiny bit that you need. And move that out of the way. So my blending pen, and I'm going to put the nib in there. Ready to use. And I'm going to, on the back once more, I'm going to move to the light wave again. With my pencil, I am just going to color on the edge along there. I'm using the number 13. This is 13. It's a really pretty color, probably a completely wrong color to use on this tag because to me it looks like burgundy, purpley kind of color. So look at your backing card and see which color goes well. Having said that, I really like this color. It just seems to, once you blend it, it just seems to work with most things. I'm going to go over the flower. I really need to stop saying I don't care because I do care. But the felt pens we used are water-soluble felt pens. And the pencil we're going to blend with an oil. They are not, it's not going to smudge. It is going to be absolutely fine. They work together. They can work together without spoiling the work, the previous work. And I want to go over because, you know, I want it all the way around. I don't want a little bit missing there. I want a nice edge. You can, if you want this panel to stand out, I didn't do it on the original tag, but just to show you, you can put it along this edge too, and it will create a shadow, sort of, for the panel. And then I'm going to bring in my sponge, my the nib, blending pen and nib, and I'm going to just touch it on there. That's enough, I think. And coming in there and little round movement. I'm going to bring it a bit towards the inside. So it's almost blending into nothingness. If you get too much oil, you can remove some on some kitchen towel and continue blending. You wouldn't need to pick up some more oil if you already had too much after wiping. And if you don't have enough, what happens is your blending will, it looks scratchy. So little round. See now over here, it's not blending as well as it was earlier. So I need to bring in my sponge, dot it again, and Go again. No, didn't dot it enough. Oh, better, 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 better. So I'm doing the right next by the outline first, and then I'm bringing it towards the center into the nothingness area, if that makes sense. Nothingness. Is there something like the nothingness area? Well, there is now. So I'm going back and forth, just so I get a nice even blend happening all the way along. To be honest, you don't need to, if you're using designer card, you're not going to need to stress out too much, because the designer card already has, you know, different colors happening in different areas. So if it's not a perfectly smooth blend, it's not going to matter. If you're using, you know, just one color cardstock, then definitely take your time to get a nice even blend happening, because it shows up a lot more on the, one-tone cardstock. So it's a bit dark here, so I can pick up some color and sort of, not color, some dorso oil, and, you know, smudge it, blend it, not smudge it, blend it, to lighten it up, lighten it a little bit. It was too dark over there. See, I like how it's dark along here and lighter in the middle. I just love the look of that. You may want to color your whole tag if that's what you want. It's absolutely up to you. You may want to use 2 colors as opposed to just one, and, you know, do that. That is fine too. And I think that is good. I'm going to do the other side. So you can see I'm blending it into the nothingness in there. I'm listening to the birds. The parakeets are there. So that's why you've suddenly not heard me. No, not heard from me. They make just such a lovely sound. Mind you, not at 6 in the morning when they sometimes decide to turn up. 8 of them. Most of the time I'm awake, but on some occasions when I'm not, and they decide that's the occasion they want to come at 6, that is not good. Mind you, even then, I'm usually then getting up, because then I'm trying to take a nice picture of them. Except I can't get a nice picture because the window in the bedroom is broken, and I can't open it fully. Some plastic bit on the inside is kind of broken, so it doesn't open fully. And even with the little tiny gap it does open, I'm scared one of these days that's going to break as well. Yeah, it's something on my list I guess I need to have fixed and looked at. But so I haven't been able to get a good picture. And I'd love to get like a closer picture of the parakeets. When I'm downstairs, I just can't seem to get close enough to them. Okay, I'm going to stop fiddling because like I said, it is not going to matter. My backing card is designer card, and I know I am just fiddling now. So I'm going to leave it. If you're using matte card, like I said, do definitely, you know, definitely take more time with your blending. So I'm just going to move these bits out of the way. And just to show you on the front, that's what that looks like. It looks a bit patchy, yes, can you see that looks a bit patchy at the moment? It's basically just the oil. Once the oil evaporates, it is going to be absolutely fine. It is just where the oil is still wet. If you think that, you know, if it's sort of bothering you, what you can do is you can get some kitchen towel. Bear with me, I'm just going to go across the room. This is organization skills at its best. And I'm coming back. Did you miss me? I couldn't get kitchen towel. That would definitely need me going into the kitchen, which is a lot further. I did get some tissue. You can, you know, help soak up some of that oil by just blending around like that. Yes, but like I said, for me, that doesn't bother me because I know it is going to evaporate. And also because in my case, I know it's going on a designer card, so it's not going to be an issue. Yeah, so you can do that. I'm not going to do that, but just to show you what it looks like on its own. Yeah, on its own, that's what it looks like. But as soon as you put it on the designer card, it is going to be very different. Yeah, on the designer card. Okay. Right, we're going to Pico cut. And how are we doing for time? Have I waffled for 2 hours yet? Or have I got time yet to waffle for a bit more? Okay, I'm going to Pico cut. Pico cutting is going to be on the front. I'm using the bold 2 needle tool. You may prefer to use the fine 2 needle tool. It's absolutely up to you. So perforating on the front. I'm going to start with inside the butterfly. The sections I said I was going to, just to show you, you know, how to do those sections. And then I'm going to do the outside of the tag and also the flowers. I may not do the flowers now because the Pico cutting and perforating is going to be exactly the same as around the tag, and I already have some. So I may skip that depending on, you know, the time and things. We will see. I am perforating over the Pico foam and the super foam. The super foam is about approximately 1 centimeter deep. If I use just the super foam on its own, can you see? Can't see the outline too well unless you're using it over your light wave. Yes, I prefer to use it this way without the light wave and with the Pico foam over it. There we go. Let's turn the light wave on, off, and move that out of the way. There we go. The other thing I like to use is I use the blue embossing mat. Not for embossing, I keep it just completely separate from my perforating. I've got a blue one, which I quite like using because it gives me finer holes. But so I'm perforating on the front, and I should have explained what I am doing, which I didn't. and that is not where I wanted to start. I'm going to do these sections first. When I'm perforating, I do work inside out, and I didn't there, but that's okay. You know, I was not concentrating, to be honest. I'm going to show you on there. So when we are perforating, you're going to make your first 2 holes. After that, you're going to go into the previous hole. I like to basically hook my one needle into the hole, bring the tool upright and perforate. Hook, upright, perforate. You may prefer to perforate straight on, keeping your tool upright, and that is fine as well. It's just that I've got used to hooking my tool, so that is what I do. And to be honest, I don't go this low. I just enough for me to feel that tug, that it's definitely hooked. And always turning your work. Okay, and the other side. I'm scared my tool is going to hit the, I don't know, no, there is space, the phone, because like I mentioned, the phone is quite low down, but now there is space. I feel really odd when I go quiet. So if I go quiet, just talk amongst yourselves. I don't even know if I'm staying in the middle of the screen. Perforating is definitely I like to do with my head over my work, like completely over my work. So I'm kind of struggling to see where I'm going. So bear with me because when I'm going quiet, because I'm just concentrating. What you don't want to do when you're perforating is go on the white lines. How close you go to the white outlines is up to you. You can leave a bit of space and perforate away from the outline, or you can go really close to the outline. It depends on your confidence level, but what you definitely do not want to do is go on the white outline, because that will just break the embossing line. So try and avoid that. It's better to leave a space than go on the white outline. Am I staying in the middle of the screen? Well, not even if I'm not in the middle, as long as, you know, I'm not going off screen. Oopsie daisy. Oopsie daisy. You know the thing I said about don't go on the white outline? Well, I almost did that. That's okay. It happens. Not the end of the world. Guess where the sequence will go? So, I'm trying to speed perforate. It's not working. If I'm over my work and I'm perforating, I can be very fast actually. But because I'm working sort of at an angle, which I'm not quite used to, I've run out of space. My embossing mat is hitting, my perforating mat is hitting the laptop section, but silly me, didn't think, move the parchment. Don't move the mats. Maybe this is one section I should have pre-prepped, right? I mean, I was going to say it's a bit like watching paint dry. But how many people have actually watched paint dry? I mean, why would you do that? So why do we say, you know, it's like watching paint dry? Because really, who watches paint dry? Or maybe because I haven't done it, I don't know how fun and exciting it would be to watch paint dry. I guess until you don't try something, you don't know, right? So maybe that's the case. Maybe I just don't know because I've not done that. Oh, went a bit ziggy-zaggy there. By the time I Pico cut, it's not going to matter. So, you know, I'm not going to stress over little things. It's just, it ain't going to happen. So you can see I am turning my work all the time. And you know, it has to be whichever angle you're working at, whether it's left to right, right to left, you know, upside down. That would be fun to watch, actually. But whichever angle you're working at, it has to be comfortable for you and your wrist. I'm not actually, you know, and it's another thing I forgot to mention. I'm not pushing my needles all the way to the base of the tool. I'm going about 3/4 of the way to get nice sort of bigger holes, because at about 3/4 of the way down the needles, it's the same diameter as it is to the base. The main thing is you want holes that are big enough to get the points of your scissors into for the Pico cutting. No, that's not right about there. Have I gone off screen? Do you know, I keep asking this, have I gone off screen? And I can't read the comments. I can't even see the video, leave alone anything else. Last time I had it on in on my laptop, but today it just doesn't want to connect. And it was really weird because there was definitely a time lag between what I was demonstrating and what I was seeing on the screen, which was quite strange to work with, as you know, in my head anyway, it was like very strange. So, you know, in some ways it is better not to have that second screen. I mean, I don't need any more confusion in my life than the confusion I already create in my head. So into that circle, that's not a very good circle, but that is okay. And I'm ready to Pico cut that. What you would also do is you would perforate around your flowers. So this was the other one that I was showing you earlier. And you would perforate around those as well. Yeah. I'm not going to do those actually because there is a lot of other stuff I want to go through about mounting techniques and stuff. So I'm going to skip that perforating of the flowers because I do have flowers I've already cut. To Pico cut, you can use your perga cutters, you can use your ring lock scissors, anything you want. I'm going to use my exclusives today, and I like to use them with the curve of the scissors going upwards because that's what I'm used to. Some of you may prefer curve down. Yes, I'm using them curve up. And what I want to do is I want to put just the tips of the scissors into the holes, and I'm not digging them in. And I'm looking for that V on the scissors. I don't know, can you see that? Hold on, sleeves is not the best. Can you see that V there? You're looking for that V. So putting it there, let's do the top wing first. So this is my waist. This is my waist. That's the bit that's going to fall out. Holding the scissors over the waist here and looking for that V. I'm going to just the tips, and as I close the scissors shut, I'm going to give it a teeny tiny twist to my left. After that, all my little twists are going to be towards the previous picos. If I go the other way, I risk breaking the holes. Turn your work around, still scissors over the waist, just the tips, and cut. Now, some of you may want to twist, some of you may not want to twist. It is something, you know, if you're new to this, you need to have a play with how you hold your scissors first, what's most comfortable, and whether you do like to add that little, you know, just the teeny tiniest little twist as you're closing the scissors shut. Or you may prefer without twisting, just closing them shut like this. And that is something only you can decide, that, you know, what works for you by having a little practice and play. So there we go. Yeah. So repeating on this side. So now I am going to speed Pico cut these. I go through phases. On some days, you know, the little twist works for me, and then on other days it just doesn't. So then I won't twist. You know, it's just one of those things that, I don't know. For me, it just varies, really. And, you know, with practice, there will be a time where it will just click, and you will find what works for you. Just try out lots of different ways. There's a little bit left over here. There you go. So on these, on the circle, my waist is this little bit here. On this teardrop, it's this little bit there. So with my scissors, once again, over the bit that's going to fall out, I'm going to Pico cut, but I'm going to do this as well at the same time. So I'm not handling the paper too much. I'm sort of cutting sections as I go along, you know, the holes that are in the sort of same direction at the same time. So there we go. That made a nice shape, didn't it? And then this one. But always the scissors over the waist, and making sure you keep turning your work so that the scissors stay over the waist. Don't bend. There we go. Come back, Flutterby. Hold on, let me get rid of those bits there. And there you go. Yeah. And then I'm going to go across here for the tag. I mean, if you didn't want to Pico cut your tag, for example, you could have die cut the same size on, use the die on the parchment to cut the same size tag, and then use the Groovi plate to emboss the corresponding outline for it. And that's pretty instant, which is really nice. You know, if you're short on time, but you want to do something just for fun, quicker project kind of thing, then you can use the die on your parchment as well to cut your tag out. But then I am aware a lot of you are not making tags. Some of you will be using this layout to, you know, to make them into cards. I'm just going around. This is called speed. Speed, Pico cutting speed. What's that speed? Why is speed in my head? Speed dating, that's it. Anyone gone on speed dating? I mean, I don't know. Would it be fun? Is it fun? I forgot to cut this inside bit. Normally, you know, always cut your inside bits. If you're cutting on the inside of your design, always do those first and do the outline absolutely last. So while I've just noticed it, I'm going to do that first and then continue. It just keeps, you know, everything, the whole piece of parchment together, not together, but you've got more space to, you know, like pick up your work and turn it around. If I had cut the tag and then realized I need to cut these sections out, I need to hold my parchment there to cut those inside areas. So just to protect your work, always do the inside designs first, then, you know, and keep the outside absolutely last. So just going around. And around. And around. Well, not quite that much around, but the reason I'm saying it because now I've got that little, is it a nursery rhyme? Is it a rhyme? Round and round the garden like a teddy bear. The kids used to love that. I think I laughed more at the tickle part than they ever did. They just, yeah, I just found it hilarious. Actually, there's a lot of things in their childhood I found more hilarious than they did. As a matter of fact, almost everything in their childhoods I found more hilarious than they did. That's okay, right? So a bit more, one more section, and then we can, I'm going to show you putting it together. And maybe sticking to a smaller tag, we would have been done a bit quicker. I quite like this size. I mean, I don't have anywhere better to go, do you? And breathe. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Right here. So that's what we have. There's our tag cut out. Okay, like I said, I am not going to do these flowers. Yes, I'm not going to do the flowers because I have already kept some that I have cut out. I want to show you a few ways of mounting your work. I'm just wondering where to put this. Hold on. Let's put this here. Let's put this out of the way, as that's not going to make a crashing sound if it falls. So I want to show you a few ways. First of all, let's mount this. So I'm going to mount this on here, and you can see the windows we've created there, and that looks really pretty with that shining, with the background color coming through. And I'm going to use, I mean, normally I use double-sided tape or something. I rarely use a wet glue like Perga glue, you know, for mounting my work, because the wet glues can buckle your parchment, for example, and it just goes really funny. So I tend to use double-sided tape or a tape runner. So I'm using this tape runner for speed, and I'm just going to put some on the back in the middle of this section here, and I'm going to stick that on there. Let's make sure it's sort of fish in the middle-ish, and by pressing it down, can you see? You can see that. Yes. Now on the darker parchment, it's less likely, you know, you'll see it less. But on clearer parchment, you will find most things tend to show through. And I find that for me, I don't like that. And you know what I've done? I've lost the piece I was going to use. No, I haven't. So what I've done is, with the backing card that was left, I have cut a little section, little wider than the tape width, to cover that. Yes, and what that does is it gives you something nice on the front there as well. So it's about camouflage, really, to hide the tape. So oopsie daisy, I don't want it on my embossing mat, do I? Let's take that off. And on this, oopsie daisy. Oopsie. Oh. Why is it not running? There we go. ClarityStamp has new tape runners. I can't wait to try those. The number of times, you know, these ones have gone wrong for me, and they just don't work. So well, yeah, I can't wait to try the ones ClarityStamp have. But also, have I mentioned the obsession with postcards I have? Can't wait to get a postcard. So there you go. Can you see? That's hidden the mess that was underneath there. So if you don't want to use brads, that is an option. You know, find somewhere in your design that you can use something on. Let me explain that better. So this one I had specifically designed with that idea in mind, to show you guys how you can, you know, for example, camouflage. Not camouflage, hide. Camouflage, definitely the wrong word. Hide the tape. Now that was on a straight, but you can do the same idea on your corners. So I have put some tape literally underneath this parchment piece and the card there, and I've covered the tape with some of the backing paper that was left over into my corners. And it almost becomes an embellishment sort of thing on your card, and it just all goes together because you've used the same backing, you've used the same strips from your backing paper, so it all just really blends in and looks Well, kind of nice. I think so anyway. So that is an option on your cards where you can use it in your corners as opposed to something straight like that. So here you go. Here's some, so this is one where, just to show you on the corners how I've done that. The other option is, if you don't want to use brads, is to use corner punches. ClarityStamp, I think, have got 4 corner punches, which are really, really pretty. And you punch it into a corner, take your parchment, and you slot it in. Yes, so you've got the option of corner punches. The other option is stitch your work. So on here, I have stitched in the corners there. I wouldn't personally stitch both inside and out. I would just do one either inside or outside. Or if you're using embroidery plates, you're going to be stitching anyway, so you're not going to need anything else with it. But you know, if you've got 2 separate pieces and you want to, or you can stitch just, you know, along one side, you can just do a little section along there, or stitch a few beads into your work. But stitching is another option. The one more option is using photo corners. Now this is, I don't use photo corners. It's just something, I don't know, I'm just not, I think I would much rather prefer, sorry, this was Brad's. I would much prefer doing, where did I put it? I would much rather prefer doing this with my backing paper than use photo corners. But that is, you know, my own preference kind of thing about how I feel about it. Or I would much rather use a corner punch. Yeah, but photo corners is another option. So there you go. You've got a few options there as to how you could mount your work. And I'm going to move all that out of the way and bring this back. So I've stuck that, I've sort of hidden it. Now I want to stick my flowers onto my piece here. Options. Now the flowers are quite little, so you can use your perga glue sort of just in the center to stick these down. Yeah, like that. I still tend to, I have to be honest, avoid it. And my preference is glue dots. So I would just, it's got a mind of its own. So glue dots, so I would pick up a glue dot. I don't know if you can see that. Lift it and stick it on. My next size glue dot. It's just, I mean, it's, you're not going to put too much glue. If you decide to use perga glue, that's fine. You don't need to, you know, use a lot, just enough to stick it, the centers. But I just prefer using glue dots. And then the last flower on there. Yes. Obviously, it needs happy, right? It needs happy. And for everyone who missed my happy box last time, this is my happy box. Yes, look at this. So I'm going to move all these packets, which I have, as if it's not enough. Look at these. This is my happy box. But because I know all of you just love it so much and you feel happy when you see it with me, I am sharing it. Look. Isn't that lovely? Look, and a stray hair. I don't want a hair in there. There you go. Look at my happy box. Oh, yeah. That is so cool. Anyway, I will play later. I will leave it out and play later. I'm going to put a sequence? How do you say it? I don't know. Should I go completely random color or shall I stick to one of the colors that's there? let's go with Lello. Have I got a Lello? I need a Lello. I definitely need a Lello. I know what all of you are thinking. You're thinking I just want to play by doing that and pretending I can't see Lello. But honestly, I couldn't see Lello, honest. And once again, I'm just going to use a glue dot, pick it up and stick it for my center there. Oh, could you see that? Oh, that's not Lello. That was pink. I don't want pink today. I definitely want Lello. Let's stick one there. And can you see the ease of glue dots? It's just awesome. It's just one here, one here, one here, one here, one here. And let's just put it there. I will put a few more at some point because I think it needs more. You can never have too many. The only problem is my sequence is sort of static. So they just seem to get everywhere. And I spent, half my time after each session picking them up off the floor because they've clung to me in places. So there you go. Yes, the other thing is, and oopsie, I almost dropped the whole box there. That would have been a bit of an oopsie daisy. The other thing is, and I'm pretty sure some of you will ask me, on this flower here, how I've got these things. They're the liquid pearls. Yeah, so on my sequence, I think I might add, now I'm playing. You can see now I'm playing. I'm going to add just a dot. There you go. I think that looks pretty. Definitely. So that's that tag. The only thing remaining is a ribbon coming out of there, which I have to be honest, I forgot to leave out, and that's not something I can easily reach or look for. I need to. It's under a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm not going to do that right now, but I'll do that. So here is my tag box. So, did I touch it? So my tags, look, for all of you making tags, you need a box. Okay, mine is a lovely, let me give you a story behind my box. Look at this. It's all, yes, old, rusty and all that, yes. Why am I using this rusty box for my creations? This is my dad's box. And when he had his business, this was the box he used to put the cash in. And when we sold the business last year, it was just something I couldn't sort of give away, even though it's all rusty. He had brought this box with him from Kenya. 45 odd years ago. So goodness knows how long he had it before then himself. And I just thought it would be nice to put those in there. But what I also found is too wide, camera too low. All these tags I had done years and years and years and years ago. They're mixed media tags. They're not parchment tags. But guess where they're going to live? Because since I did find those, they're going to live in my box here. Yes, and it's going to all look really pretty to flick through and feel happy about. What can you do with your tags if you're not turning them into cards or giving them out? This is a tag sort of concertina thing. This is why the word concertina was in my head. It's just, you can have any tags. So I've done a bit of parchment. I've stuck flowers on there. And on the back, it's just a strip, sticking 3 of them together. And it's just going to concertina. So you can do a little concertina kind of, I wouldn't say a booklet, but just something nice that if you're doing tags, this is really something not pretty to look at, and it's just texture. It just feels nice to handle. And when I dig it out, it's a nice feeling. Yeah, I made that, so that's something you can do. A little plug for my workshop for April. So in April, my April workshop this is what we're doing. We're playing with the straight pattern grid number 1. So this is a card we will be doing during the Zoom, but as a bonus PDF, this is what you're going to get instructions to do this card as well, because once you learn the techniques on this card, and yes, we will be coloring a gem as well. Once you learn the technique on this little card during the live Zoom, you will be able to do this on your own. If you sign up before next week, Friday, I have got a free fun session for everyone who's doing the class in April. I'm doing a fun free session of coloring gems over Zoom. And for that, we are going to do something like this, not specifically henna plates. It's just, they're going to just color gems. They've been given homework. So if you sign up with me before Friday, you can join in the fun of coloring gems with me. So this is what we have done today. This is, where is my tag gone? Sorry. Look, my happy box is calling me. That's what it is. It's saying, put me back on screen, because, you know, I would just love everyone to, yeah, feel happy. There you go. No, but I need to find my, oh, look, you see, they get staticky and they go everywhere, which is quite nice, actually. It's nice. That is the one I had prepared in pinks, different butterflies. And this one, I like the border bottom. This one is border top. And this card, I will blog. Yeah, on the card, can I just say, I mean, okay, I've used the rectangle Pico die there, which I will say in the instructions. I didn't go all the way. I quite like this, where I've ripped on one side, and it was designer card. I just thought it was really nice, so I did it. You don't obviously have to do that, but it was just adding a bit of texture in there. So there we go. That's it for today. Thank you for joining me. I hope everything made sense, and yeah, hopefully everything was good. If you do want to join a workshop, one of my April workshop, message me and I will definitely send you details. And if you have any questions regarding today's tag, let me know. Next one is 2 weeks from today. No idea what that date is, because I did not look it up beforehand. What plates will I use? No idea once again, because I did not get that far either. I was too busy chatting on Messenger, whereas I should have been sorting all that out, right? But nah, it's okay. We're all friends, so it's good. I will post as soon as, you know, I figure out what I want to do. I will post it sometime this week and see. But, you know, like I said, don't focus on the plates I am using. Honestly, don't do that. Just look at what plates you have and, you know, just look at the layout. I will do the tag and put it up as an event page. And that will help you decide what plates you're going to use if you're going to work alongside me. But if it's going to be something you do later, you don't need to worry even about that bit. Just bring yourselves with your cups of teas, coffees, hot chocolates, cakes, chocolates, popcorn, crisps. What else? What else is yummy? I don't know. Lots of things is yummy. Candy floss. I love candy floss. Bring some candy floss, definitely. I need to go look for candy floss. On that note, I'm going to say goodbye, because I'm going to go internet search candy floss. Take care, everyone. Huge hugs. Bye.